Here I will discuss the sorting algorithm. So last two test paper, I just given the question to write the algorithm for sorting. I didn't got any correct answer over there. So that is why I just discussed that sorting algorithm here. The first one is bubble sort. Bubble sort means you are comparing the adjacent element. So here the first step, see this is the way you have to write the algorithm. The first step, accept the total number of elements in variable S, accept n elements and store it in variable L. And here set these are the two variables in bubble sort. We are using two loops. One loop is used to compare the adjacent element and for the swapping, and second one is used for the same procedure. You have to repeat n times. So this is this set I as zeros means that I variable is to represent the outer loop, and this is the second one. This loop this variable is used to represent the inner loop. So using the inner loop only you are comparing the adjacent element. So that is why I just written if jth element is greater than j plus 1th element. J is initially 0. So you are comparing 0th element and the first element. So jth element is greater than j plus 1th element, then you are swapping or you are exchanging these two elements. And after that you are updating the j by 1, and again you are checking whether you reach at the end of the list or not. So if j is less than n, again you have to repeat the same procedure. So there is these three steps represent the inner loop procedure. Once you come out of the loop, again you are updating the outer loop variable. Outer loop variable is I is updated by 1, and again you are checking y is less than n. If I is less than n, again you are going back to fourth step, where your inner loop again begins there. So that means after the updation of the outer loop variable, second time the inner loop is repeating there. So inner loop is starting from 0 to n. So that procedure is coming over there. That is why go to step 4. After updating the outer loop variable, you are checking whether you reach at the end of the list. If it is not, then you are going back to the fourth step and you are initializing the inner loop variable. So this is the way you have to write the algorithm. Now, second one is selection sort algorithm. Selection sort algorithm, see here, the first you have to accept the total number of elements, and n elements you have to accept and store inside the variable L. And in selection sort algorithm, first you have to find out the smallest element from the list, and you are exchanging the smallest element from the smallest element with the first element. So for that I am setting the variable I as 0. This I variable represents outer loop, and assign ith element as the smallest one. So you are writing small is equal to a of I. Same way, assigning the ith element as small, and you are setting p as I. That position is not down. After that, j is I. Again the inner loop begins. You can write j as I or I plus 1. That depends. So j is I. Again j, you are comparing jth element is less than small. You are comparing jth element with the small. So if it is jth element is less than small, then you are exchanging. So small is, you are setting small as the jth element and position as j also. So that is the inner loop procedure. Inside the inner loop, you are checking a condition. You are comparing small with the a of jth element. The same procedure. The jth element is less than small. That means you have to, your assumption is wrong. You have to change your assumption. So that is why you are setting small as jth element and p as j. Again the inner loop is updated, j plus 1. You are checking whether you reach at the end of the list or not. So this is j is less than n. If it is less than n, go to step 7. So here the step. Now present jth element you are comparing with the small. If jth element is less than small, then you are changing your assumption. That means small you are changing as jth element and position is j. That procedure will be repeated there. After that, when you come out of the loop, out of the inner loop, you have to exchange the smallest element with the first element. So that is exchanging ith element with the pth element in the list. So pth element is the smallest element in the list. So you are exchanging ith element with the pth element, and you are updating the I. Again you are checking whether you reach at the end of the list. So that means if I is n, I is less than n, you have to go back to the sixth step where you are setting the value of j as 1. So this is the way you have to write the algorithm for the selection sort. studied these algorithms. So these are the common question for your board paper also. So this is selection sort algorithm. Not only the program, you have to study the algorithm also. Okay, children. Thank you.